So we're going to go ahead and start with our treasurer's report. Where's our treasurer? Yes, treasurer. Mr. Raul Reyes, and he'll give you a brief snapshot of what he does for us and who he is and where he's come from and how long he's been in the politics, I would go ahead and call it, being a public servant more than anything.
Good morning, Honorable Judge and Commissioners. Raul Reyes, County Treasurer, for the record. It's so great to be here, and if I can summarize my position as your County Treasurer, if you look at it, I'm almost like the banker of the county. The office of the County Treasurer not only receives and records all the income for the county, but we also expend all of the expenditures, bills, and disbursements for Webb County. So every single person who does business with the county in one way or another gets paid through our office. And we also process the disbursement of payroll for the entire county employees as well. We reconcile bank accounts, and by law, we have to present the bills and disbursements to the members of the court for their review and approval, and then I can release payments. So I'm also the investment officer for the county, and I have some good news to share this morning with the county judge and commissioners. And prior to being your county treasurer, I'm on my second term. I served 14 years as mayor of the city of El Cenizo, and I cannot believe that this November I will be celebrating 20 years of public service.
How old were you when you first started as mayor? You were the youngest. You were the youngest mayor in the state of Texas.
I was 21 years old. I ran when I was 19, but I lost. Nonetheless, I continued, and at the age of 21.
Look at everybody's faces; they all kind of drop like, "Oh, 20." Congratulations.
Thank
okay,
you.
sir, you may proceed.
Thank you. Judge and Commissioners, this morning I have the presentation of bills and disbursements, and this is for the period of April 5th, 2024 through April 18th, 2024. We have 267 checks ready to be released. That represents a payment of 636 invoices, and that total disbursement is $1,212,290.07. We also have 153 electronic fund transfers for the payment of 470 invoices, and that disbursement total, Judge and Commissioners, is $3,975,590.25. Payments released prior to today, as per the general order, we had 91 checks that represented the payment of 223 invoices. That disbursement total, Judge and Commissioners, is $175,521.48. And we had no electronic fund transfers processed prior to today's meeting. And of course, those are for the energy assistance vouchers, materials and supplies, trainings, lease contracts, and utilities. We would need them.
Move to approve the payment of those invoices plus the ratification.
Second.
Already paid.
I do have a motion. I do have a second. Any other questions, comments? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And just for public record purposes, the ratification that was approved was for 169 checks for the payment of 328 invoices, and that disbursement total was $749,990.76, and one electronic fund transfer for one invoice, and that disbursement total was $3,000. The next, we have some side bills that need to be approved pending the approval of the auditor's office. Those are 19 invoices, and that disbursement total is $2,964,249.11. I don't know if y'all want to go ahead and approve those.
Second. I have a motion. Second. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And then just for informational purposes only, in terms of the liability disbursements of county payroll, for 2,184 checks that were processed via direct deposit, The total contribution of county wages and payroll deductions, and of course the net wages, is $4,882,506.92. Last but not least, for informational purposes only, before I move on to my monthly report, we have the Casablanca Golf Course requirement of funds. The prior pay date was April 19th. The approved estimate was $45,000. There was an increase due to the Webb County Open and the extended hours, so the actual amount of the payroll was $46,154.79. And that represents 16 full-time employees and 17 part-time employees. And the estimated funds required for the pay date of May 3rd, they anticipate that it would be $45,000.
So do we need two separate motions? Or?
Yes, we need to ratify the actual amount of the April 19th, 2024 payroll, and then approve the estimate for the May 3rd payroll.
Okay, so to approve ratification of what was it, 46,000, how much?
$46,154.79.
Okay.
Second. Motion second for ratification. Any other questions, comments? Any opposed? Motion carries. One more.
Now a motion to approve the estimated payroll not to exceed 45,000 for the next pay period.
Second. Motion second. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. And my next item is the March 2024 monthly report. The Constitution dictates that we present a monthly report to the members of the court, and this is the monthly report that highlights the entire snapshot of the county's financial position. The first slide you'll see is the cash and investment balance as of March 31st, 2024. Our total cash at hand was $254,762,692.43. Our investment portfolio was $58,816,539.41. So the total portfolio at the end of March 2024 was $313,579,231.84. I know it's a lot, right? Our cash to investment percentage, we have 81.2% in cash and investments. That represents 18.8%. And all this information, Judge and Commissioners, can be found on page 2. And for the students, you can find all of my monthly reports by visiting www.webcountytx.gov/county treasurer. And you'll see all the monthly reports right there. In terms of our interest rate of return by financial institutions, you'll see there the total interest rates in terms of our investment portfolio and our cash and investment pools. Again, the investment portfolio, Judge and Commissioners, they're weighted averages, and it represents, obviously, our book value and market value as detailed in the report. Our depository interest rate is 3.5500%. Our pools are above 5%. And of course, the weighted average within our investment portfolios are either within the 5 percentile to the lowest is 3.1500%. The total interest earned in the month of March 2024, and this is the first time that we receive and we surpass this amount, is $1,033,703. We expect this amount to increase as the Federal Reserve has indicated that they don't anticipate lowering rates in the summer as they had projected.
If I may ask?
Yes.
Please.
Do you have an average, what your interest rate is there?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. So far, year to date, we have $5,154,160.
No, but the average interest rate.
The average interest rate at the current moment is around 5.1%. 5.1%. Yeah. That's the average. Obviously, if you look at our investment portfolio, you'll see that we have lower rates, and it's because those investments were done during the COVID era, so we wait till maturity so we can receive all of our interest income on those. Last fiscal year, we were at $7,158,124. So we're on track with the following months to surpass last year's total interest earned. The next slide is our checks issued report. You'll see there that within accounts payable, payroll, and payroll liabilities, we disbursed. That means we spent on average in accounts payable, payroll, and of course our liabilities, $19,535,810.72. In terms of our sales tax, you'll see there that for the month of March, we did receive $2,117,530.00. That put us above budget, $34,197. Our current fiscal year, we have $13,228,968 in sales tax revenue. And so far, within this fiscal year, we are $728,970 up, performing above budget. And just for record purposes and for the students, for every dollar spent, 6.25% goes to the state comptroller, so the state keeps it. 1.25% is stayed at the city of Laredo. 0.50% is for Webb County, and then 0.25% is for the Laredo Transit. So if we're getting that much money, you can only imagine how much the state gets and how much the city of Laredo is getting as well. The next item is our bingo and mixed beverage tax revenue. In terms of our bingo, we did receive $3,594.04. We're waiting for the next period that ends in March, and the reports aren't due until April 25th, so we're still waiting to be able to get that quarter total. And for our mixed beverage for the month of March 2024, it's $66,198.68. Year to date, we are at $399,548.24. In terms of our Webb County rents report, you'll see there that we did receive we paid out $7,530.24 that was received. And then, of course, through grants and through the general fund, you'll see there $15,427.80 were grant-related rents paid. $8,344 were general fund rents, and according to the auditor's office, we do get reimbursed 100% for the grant rents, and that's at $15,427.87. In terms of our leases paid, you'll see there that we have 21 debt service leases. 15 of those are debt service leases that are paid yearly, and then 6 of them are paid on a monthly basis. You'll see there that for the month of March, it was $11,443.97. In terms of our permanent school fund and royalties for Highway 44, the Lewis, we received $166,173.14. For the Highway 59, the Aldine Oil and Gas, it was $4,441.44. We had no damages, and that total revenue for the month of March was $170,614.53. Our total balance is still a little bit high, I think, because we haven't gone through the disbursements of last year. So as of March, our balance at the permanent school fund is $8,752,102.35.
Why, Why haven't we done that?
I'm not sure. It's something that I think Civil Legal is still working with the school districts.
'Cause, I mean, they usually come to us right away as soon as they have the, I guess, the seating.
Hmm. Yeah, and that money goes back to the schools. So LASD schools and UISD schools and Webb County Independent School District receive those funds.
And may I ask also, on the bingo tax, didn't most of our bingo halls close down?
Yes, and we'll get a bigger Snapchat in terms of how much revenue we'll be collecting nonetheless due to the
Or
the
not
closures.
collecting?
Or not collecting, of course. And then our Tex-Mex parking lot for the month of March, we did have 183 tickets that closed. 103 of them were below the half hour, so we didn't collect on those. But we did collect on the paid tickets, and those were 81. And of course, one lost ticket. That total ticket revenue was $380. Contracted services were $2,900. That's for 9 rental spaces. So the total revenue for March was $3,280 with 0 cents. Currently, we're at $14,910. Just keep in mind that we did experience some hiccups in February where we had to send the processing unit all the way back to Canada to get, maintenance, and we received it, installed it once again with the help of IT, and it's up and running again. And last fiscal year, we were at $38,466. So we'll eventually get there.
Very well.
And then last but not least, I just wanted to inform the members of the court that Falcon Bank has a new check endorsement requirement to obviously reduce current fraudulent activity that has been on an increase not only here locally but statewide and nationwide. They are now requiring that businesses properly endorse their checks, and you'd be surprised how many businesses don't know how to endorse checks. And so we get a lot of vendors that have been upset at the fact, but this is just for precautionary measures because, of course, fraudulent activity has been on the rise, and this is their way to not only protect themselves, their clients, but also for a way for them to protect the county's interest as well. And we are working with them. We sent out endorsement requirement letters to all vendors, which were over 1,500, and we are recommending for them to switch over to our ACH program. If not, we will more than likely assist them with the endorsement. That is all I have this morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Motion to accept report. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you.
Appreciate you and your time. Just real quick.